I'm ready to shop my 2026 Part D plan for Medicare, even though WellCare didn't send me my annual notice of change. Fortunately, I know that I have to shop every year. So in this week's video, let's find out, did my Part D prices go up or down? Now, Part D insurers and Medicare Advantage plans are required to send you an annual notice of change by September 30th of each year to help you prepare for the annual enrollment period. Well, WellCare didn't deliver. If you don't get one, you should call your company. I did after previewing plans earlier this month during the October 1st to October 15th period, and I noticed that my WellCare was likely to go up. So I called WellCare to ask them about the annual notice of change, and they said they mailed it on September 15th. But I would have remembered receiving a notice that my premiums were going up from $2.30 a month to $22.80 a month in 2026. But in any case, be sure to use Medicare Plan Finder to shop for your best deal every year. And I'm going to show you some screen grabs of my own shopping this year. Then I'm going to show you how you can do the same kind of shopping on Medicare.gov Plan Finder. Now, the annual enrollment period runs from October 15th through December 7th. And I already enrolled in my Part D plan, and I'm going to show you it on October 15th. You have until December 7th to make your best shopping deal for Part D plans. Now, many Part D plans and Medicare Advantage plans are not going to be renewing this year. So you may get an annual notice of change that says, we're out of the business. You will have certain rights for a guaranteed issue if that happens, and you should shop carefully with the help of a broker. You are likely to see Part D plans, assuming you're on your original Medicare and Medigap like I am. A Part D plan prices are going to be substantially higher than they have been in the past few years. And it's all due to the substantial changes introduced in the Inflation Reduction Act by the last administration. See this video here. It's not anything to do with the new administration. Don't make this mistake when you use Plan Finder. When you first go in, and again, you should enter in your own account. It already has your prescriptions loaded into it if you've done it right. If not, you'll have to shop and then add those drugs in. But you should go ahead in your own account. And in this case, the first thing it'll show you is the plan you're currently enrolled in, and assume that you want to make the change for the rest of 2025. And it shows that it's only going to cost $15 for my drugs on WellCare Value. But note, it's on 2025. You need to click this down here to find plans now for 2026. Now make sure you see that up in the upper left corner, you're viewing 2026 plans. And then make sure that you're also sorting those plans by the lowest drug and premium costs. And then you'll be able to go through the results and select a few to compare. And I'll show you a movie here of that happening. Now, your first comparison when you do that is going to concentrate on the total monthly premiums. And this shows that my WellCare plan is going up to $22.80 versus the $4.40 for Humana. But scroll down to find the total premiums plus drug costs. You'll want to compare your plans based on total drugs plus premiums for 2026. And again, I'm using the same drugs that I have been for the last few years. So these are my drugs in here. You'll want to shop with your drugs. If you were like most Part D participants and failed to shop, I would have been paying $842.40 next year for WellCare coverage and my drugs instead of this $214.68 for this Humana plan. Now, if I stayed with WellCare, the total drug costs plus premium accounts for the 5 generics that I take. I take all generics. and it would have totaled $842.40. That includes the 2280 times 12, or 273.80 in annual premiums, plus this 142.20 quarterly for 90-day supplies. I get my generics mail ordered. But note, I won't meet the deductible in 2026 with any of the generics that I'm taking, because in most Part D plans, the Tier 1, sometimes Tier 2, don't count against your deductibles. Deductibles only start with the higher tiers. But if I switch to Humana, the total drug cost plus premiums is $214.68. Again, for mail order delivery, which is, as in this case, much cheaper than the retail options with Humana. That includes the $4.40 a month, or $52.80 in annual premiums, plus the $40.47 in drug costs quarterly for the same generics. And again, I won't pay a deductible. I don't need to shop based on the 615 annual deductibles. Most of us won't hit those kinds of drugs that apply. Now, before I go any further, will you please like this channel and subscribe and share it with others who like entertaining ideas from a DIY retiree? I'm not a broker. I'm not selling you a Medicare plan. I'm just sharing my shopping history so it'll help you. Now, once you're satisfied with the choice, you'll want to go ahead and hit enroll on the plan, and you'll come into this little warning button here that says make sure you have your Medicare card number and that you're aware applying for a Part D plan may affect coverage you currently have. So if you have coverage from an employer or Advantage plan, be careful before you hit this button to join now. And then once you join, you'll go through the application and hit submit. Now, when you're done, you'll see this notification will come up, actually up here in this upper right corner. You'll see notifications, and when you open it, it says you chose a new plan. You'll also get an email from Medicare that says you've chosen a new plan. And you should start getting information from that new insurer. Keep in mind that if you go to the doctor and you get a sixth generic or another drug added to your prescriptions, go in and shop again. Everything you do up until December 7th will look at the last plan you enroll in. So this is Humana is my choice right now. If I get one or two drugs added, I'll go back and shop, as long as I do it before December 7th. The last plan you select will be your new plan for 2026. Now, you should also go to the insurer's website and review the formulary to make sure your drugs are covered without any step strategies or anything else to restrict the use of those drugs. You should also look at the evidence of coverage and the choice of the mail order pharmacy. Now, I don't think that Humana is going to use the same mail order pharmacy that I've been using for Cigna and WellCare, which was Express Scripts. And so I may need to give my doctor the new information on Humana's Part D plan and the contact information for that mail order pharmacy before drugs are renewed in 2026. I will conclude with my standard warning. I'm not a professional planner. I'm not a Medicare broker. I have no initials after my name. So take these as entertaining ideas from one educated consumer to another. Always do your own due diligence and seek out a professional if you need one. Bye.